Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back. So, will Windows 11 be the downfall of Microsoft? Let's discover this, shall we? Okay, so beta testers in the last while have been testing computers within the age bracket of 1 to 3 years of age. Okay, because let's face it, it is a new OS, so you're probably going to need a newer computer. Yeah, you definitely need some new tech in your house, I'm sure, by now. Anyways, don't we all? Now, there are some minimum requirements, and they've been finding that a lot of computers between 1 to 3 years of age aren't up to snuff. Even if you're missing just one of these minimum requirements, you are not going to run even the basic Windows 11. Okay, because you have minimum specs for Windows 11, and then you have recommended, which means you need a lot better computer to go with recommended, which means camera and or a fingerprint biometric ID scanner and all this other garbage. It's a whole list of fun. So if you Google my Windows 11 specifications, you will come to the Microsoft link in that list and click on it and you'll get a bunch of information. But we're going to go through some of that with you anyways. Let's go over the minimum specs. Now, one of the things I was curious on was my own HP laptop that I won not that long ago from MDG Computers, or MDG, whatever. Anyways, they sell all kinds of stuff, not just computers. I got my TV from them, and they sell furniture and whatever. So my little HP laptop they sent me for free because I won it. It looks like to me that it should be okay, but we're going to go through things. First of all, processor, 1 gigahertz, dual core, minimum of a dual core, and it has to be 64-bit. My laptop qualifies. 4 gigs of RAM. I doubled it to 8 because 4 gigs on Windows 10 sucked. And on 8, it's very happy. Okay, so I have lots of RAM. I'm good there. Storage, 64 gig or larger. Oh, I got a ton of storage. I dumped a good sized drive in there. Now, I also put in an NVMe hard drive. Okay, it came with an SSD standardized M.2, so I put in an actual high performance NVMe, and man, does this sucker ever run fast now. Woohoo! Okay, Uefi secure boot. Okay, yes, my little laptop has that. Trusted Platform Module TPM version 2.0. Now, I do have the module, but it doesn't tell me what version it is, which really sucks. And you'll find that under Security in your BIOS. Okay, it says I have a TPM device. It says it's enabled, but it doesn't tell me what version. So, at least not that way. No, doesn't even tell me what version. Well, doesn't that just suck? Well, so it's a guess, and if we're missing the proper version of the TPM alone, if it's not a version 2.0, we can't even run the minimum specs for Windows 11. Compatible with DirectX 12 or later with WDDM 2.0 driver. This is our graphics card. I may have to reboot my computer out of the BIOS for this one. I have hyper-threading. Okay, so the rest of that's not helpful. So let's just ignore changes and exit. So I didn't make any changes anyway. Okay, so we have to find out about the DirectX 12 thing. Okay. High definition 720p display. Now I more than have that, but it has to be greater than 9 inches diagonally. That's a big thing with Microsoft for some reason. I just gotta sign into my thing here. Okay, so let me go up to my device manager here. Maybe we can get more info out of there. Okay, in your device manager, it'll list your TPM module. and the version 2.0. So we do have the 2.0. Woohoo! Okay, we're going to check the big computer too. Display adapters. Intel ultra high definition graphics. That is actually a requirement of ultra high def. So we probably do qualify on the graphics side, but let me just check our properties here. And what is it they're calling for here? They want DirectX 12 or later. I probably have the DirectX 12. I'll have to figure out where that is actually. I probably have it though, but I can't see it being listed here. So anyway, so technically, according to their minimum list, everything should be just fine and dandy, because the only other thing we need to worry about, other than the DirectX 12 here or later, which I probably do have, is Windows 11 Home Edition requires. Now the Home Edition requires internet connectivity and a Microsoft only account to complete the setup for first use. So you have to have a Hotmail account basically, or whatever they call it now, Outlook. I'm still on the @hotmail.com kind of deal with my Microsoft account, so I'll be fine for that because it's still Microsoft no matter what. So it looks like technically, other than the DirectX 12, which I should have anyways, my little HP laptop will actually be quite happy to run Windows 11. Okay, which, fantastic, that's awesome. That's we have one computer figured out in this house. Now, you don't have to be a genius to go through this, but you know, some things say, some things don't. Now, oh, look at that PSP 3.0 device. That's not TPM though, or is it? AMD PSP 3.0. AMD PSP 3.0 device. I'm kind of curious what that is. Well, that page is loading. I may have to go into my BIOS, and I'm cutting the video on this machine, so I can't just go into that. I'm just checking the rest of my devices here. This is interesting. Okay, did it load yet? Let's check. Known issues. Chipset. I'm gonna have to actually check my main BIOS. But anyways, I guess we'll have to figure out my main system another day. So the bottom line is kind of this, folks. If you are missing even one thing from the minimum requirements, you're not installing and running Windows 11, and you're still not going to get the full out blown Windows 11 unless your computer has the recommended requirements. It's kind of like playing a video game, right? You have minimum specs to just play the game, then you have the recommended specs for the game of hardware in order to unlock the entire potential of the game. Well, Windows is going to be no different here. Okay, if you want, you know, the bare bones that they're going to allow you to have for minimum spec machine, then okay, that's what you're going to get. If you want to have all the power, all the features, all the software that comes along with Windows 11, then you're going to have a recommended spec'd out machine. Okay, so it is very critical, and if you're missing just one of those little minimum specs, you're not going to run Windows 11. So if you don't know how to check this stuff out yourself, then definitely take it into your local repair guy that you deal with and have him or her check it out to find out if your computer is going to be able to run Windows 11 according to the specs. So, because that TPM module, that's a big thing. Now, like I said, the only thing we're kind of questioning on my laptop is DirectX 12, but I'm pretty sure that's actually in there. I just have to do a little bit more digging into the laptop, and I don't have time for that right now. But do check out your system to make sure that you do qualify. Now, Microsoft has said that they're going to give you another 2 to 3 years of Windows 10 updates anyways, and then they're going to cut you off, and you're going to be forced at that point that if you want to stay on the internet and play games, like play on the internet properly and securely and all that sort of jazz, then you're going to have to buy a new computer, no matter what. And given the computers from the age of 1 to 3 years have been found to not even qualify for Windows 11, it should scare anybody, because you know what, we all spend a lot of money on our computers at times. I mean, this HP laptop that I have here, this is like 500 bucks Canadian, well, 450 bucks, and that's with 4 gigs of RAM in it and a real small 120 gig hard drive. And I've totally upgraded the hard drive in this thing. Because yeah, it really sucked with 120 gigs with Windows 10. It's like, my hard drive's basically full, where's about my programs now? So I had to actually upgrade. So I went to an NVMe M.2 because it's a dual bus port, and NVMe's are much faster than standard SSD little stick drive thingies. Okay, so I went for, I think this one's just over 2,000 megabits per second. The one in my tower is actually much higher end, and it's over 3,000 megabits per second read and write. It is really fast. So I enjoy the speed edge because you can get a bit more speed out of your computer using SSD or NVMe SSD drives. Okay, that's a definite given. And of course, the more RAM, the merrier. Okay, so the more memory you can give it, from 4 gigs to 8 to 16 to 32, whatever. This little laptop guy can go to 32 gigs of RAM, but it costs more than what the laptop does. So it's kind of like, I'm not doing that. That's stupid, especially for what this laptop does. 8 gigs of RAM, it does everything it needs to do for me. So we'll see how well Windows 11 crunches it down if I have to do another RAM upgrade or not. I mean, the most I'd consider is maybe 16 gigs of RAM in this thing, because I have 16 in my tower right now, and 16 is more than adequate for anything, at least right now under Windows 10 it is. We'll see what 11 does. But in the meantime, folks, do check your computers, seriously. Security is a big thing on the internet. And I will say this before we go, because I want to keep this video under 15 minutes. Yay! It's one thing for banks and credit card companies. They must have their stuff secure, okay? Because your info is on their servers, right? So they have to be security up the wazoo, more than what we do. However, we still have to have our computer gear, our software, our operating systems, our browsers, security updated as well all the time. Because if something happens to your credit card or your bank account, okay, if your hardware and software are not up to date, guess what? They're not going to come good, because the responsibility lies not only on the companies we're dealing with, but it also relies on us as the users to make sure our stuff is secure when we are doing this stuff online, okay? And then at least they'll come good, and that's the way it goes. So you have to keep things up to snuff. I just got a computer last night, actually, that, believe it or not, still has Windows 7 on it. And the last time it was updated was the same year it was released. They never did an update since. I mean, we got to wipe the drive still, but, the thing is, we're looking at security updates and everything, and it was like, I think about 2 months after the release of the computer that they had it, and that was the last time that thing was ever updated, period. So it's kind of like, whoa, that's bad. you know. So I wouldn't want to be on the internet with something that insecure. So anyways, it's going to get freshly reloaded, that's for sure. But it's going to be a fun little toy, so we'll talk about that in another video, because I got a couple score videos to do for you guys, computer related. But anyways, in the meantime, I know I'm over 15 minutes by a few seconds, so anyways, thanks for watching, hope you enjoyed it. Please do check into this stuff. It's very serious to take into consideration what's going on here with your computers. Check your device manager, check your BIOS between the two for the minimum specs. Go to the Microsoft website, check all that stuff out for minimum and full out specs, and just see where you want to lie in. And if you're okay with just dealing with the minimum specs, then fine. Then just do it. Because a lot of us will be stuck with just the minimum. Because there's just some stuff I ain't prepared to handle dealing with the recommended anyways. But, I mean, I got to search my computer more to see. Anyway, thanks again. See ya.